All right, hello everybody and happy Taco Tuesday. My name's CJ, your host here, the CJ Curry Show presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is making daily fantasy sports easy on you. You pick 2, 3, 4, 5, or up to 6 of your favorite superstars from your favorite sports. Combine them together, decide whether they're going to go for more or less on their projection, and you can win up to 25 times your money. Today's a fantastic day to get started on PrizePicks because they're doing a 100% instant deposit match, meaning every dollar that you put in, they're going to match it up to $100, and it's Taco Tuesday. So we're going to get some discounted player projections all day today on PrizePicks. So if you're not playing on PrizePicks, use code Curry. I've left a link down in the description of today's video. Go check the description for everything that I've got going on, okay, folks? And I want to run through the chat and say what's up because we've got a lot of folks in here already saying hello, hey, howdy. So back at you, Timothy saying no tacos. They've been selling. I hear what you're saying, man. They've been selling, but for the most part, the taco record this year has been phenomenal, okay? We take the tacos. Most of the time, we take the tacos. Yeah, Trae Young, he didn't do his thing last time he was a taco, right? I mean, there's some exceptions. But for the most part, I think overall, we can all agree the tacos have been pretty tasty, pretty crunchy so far. What do you guys think in the chat? Those of you who are joining me live, those of you who are joining me on the replay, comment below. You like the tacos this year or nah? I think the chefs are cooking up some good tacos for the most part. T-Bone's in the building. What's poppin'? Ronald Pierre, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. Michael Johnson says Taco Tuesday, time to get after it today. Kiara Brown, shout out to you. Broderick, leave the taco emojis. Roy's in the building. Shout out to Roy. Patrick, Taco Money. Jermaine's got the Taco Tuesday vibes going. Neville, good to see you. Dave the Beast, Taco been selling my bets the past couple times. I know, man. Listen, they're not free squares. We got to remind everybody, these tacos are not free squares. You remember back where the Super Bowl, we had Patrick Mahomes at 0.5 passing yards. The tacos are not free squares like the Patrick Mahomes passing yard prop was for the Super Bowl, okay? Got to remind everybody, let's keep the expectations in check here. These guys still got to go out and get it done, even if they have a reduced projection on PrizePicks. It is not free by any means. Not a free square. What's up, Jermaine? Randy's in the building. Broderick, shout out to you. Good to see you, one of our Patreon members. Shout out to the Patreon gang, by the way. I laced the Patreon folks up with a nice little 2-pick power play to cap off our night last night. Hit for 3x. So shout out to everybody in Patreon who hailed that pick. Listen, Patreon is just $20 a month. You can support the show by joining Patreon. I'm posting so much stuff to Patreon. I'm talking cheat sheets for various sports. I'm talking plus EV, well-projected plays like we talk about here on the show each day. I'm talking about giving away risk-free 2-pick power plays to win $100 on PrizePicks, guys. I'm just giving as much as one man can give, okay? So shout out to my Patreon members who are watching as well. All right, speaking of giving away, we got a giveaway we got to do. We do a giveaway every single day. I give away one risk-free 2-pick power play on PrizePicks. Basically, if you win one of these risk-free 2-pick power plays, all you have to do, get both of the picks right, and then $100 is added to your PrizePicks account. So for those of you who are saying, Where's the promo credits? When are they going to airdrop us some promo funds? PrizePicks gods, please rain down prosperity upon us. I'm the man to answer your prayers, all right? PrizePicks has ordained me lead ambassador for the brand. So here we go. Let's go ahead and hook somebody up with a risk-free 2-pick power play to win $100. All right, we had 21 unique comments from our last show, which was not yesterday, but Sunday. All right, so we're going to the comment section. We're going to pull a comment. Hopefully we do not have a repeat winner. If we do, we'll pick another name, okay? We try to keep it fair. And I don't think this person's won yet. Jamisha Kennedy, are you watching live? Are you here with us live on YouTube? If not, maybe you're catching the replay. Go to the comment section and leave a comment if you're here, Jamisha. But Jamisha was liking some Killian Hayes over PRA, and those of you who tuned in know that Killian Hayes did cover his PRA line that day. So hopefully you played that play, Jamisha and company, and you ended up cashing in on some Killian Hayes PRA from Sunday. But nonetheless, Jamisha, I need you to shoot me a DM. You can DM me either on Twitter at Curry the Creator, or you could drop down and head into our Discord and shoot me a DM via Discord. Either way you want to do it, I'm cool with either one. Just got to get your PrizePicks email address so I can add that risk-free 2-pick power play to your account. And those of you who are still waiting on your risk-free 2-pick power play, fear not. Things take time, okay? Good things come to those who wait. Don't worry, haven't forgotten about you. They will be delivered hopefully today. That's what I'm working on. So, all right, shout out to everybody else who just got here. Guys, we have not discussed any picks, plays, or props today. We're going to go over today's NBA schedule real quick, and then we'll talk about today's Taco Tuesday play. We've got a first taco being delivered hot and fresh. It's not DoorDash. It's not Uber Eats. It's not Grubhub. It's PrizePicks delivering the tacos today, and we'll talk about today's taco in just a minute and whether or not we should be taking the over or possibly the under on the original line. Could be the way to go here on the first taco today. Let's run through today's NBA slate. 13 games tonight, guys. The NBA has really backloaded the last few days of the regular season with a ton of games. They packed a ton of contests into a short span here. Not only do we have a lot of NBA, we've got a ton of MLB as well. I've already released an MLB video. You guys go check that MLB video out if you haven't watched it yet. Pretty nice little run, 6-3-3 over the last 2 days on our MLB picks in those MLB videos. 62.5% hit rate. Again, 56% or better hit rate on your bets, you're profitable. Okay, so we're at a 62.5%. Anything 60% or better is considered elite category. Okay, starting things off here though, Miami at Detroit. We got blowout city right here. 219 point total, but a 13-point spread is favoring the Miami Heat. Listen, the Detroit Pistons don't want to win any more basketball games. They're 16-62, full-on tank mode. We're not surprised, right? Not when Scoot Henderson and Victor Wembanyama are out there waiting for you. Detroit doesn't want to win any more games. And so you're going to see pretty much all of the good players for the Detroit Pistons sit out, other than like Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey. Pretty much everyone's out, including Marvin Bagley III. He's been added to this injury report here recently. For the Miami Heat, Kyle Lowry, game time decision. Bam Adebayo, game time decision as well. If you're going to play any props from this game, I'd probably say you either take the young guys on the Detroit Pistons, full game if you want to, or maybe go first half only on the Miami Heat guys, but I really don't think this one stays competitive for very long. Again, Detroit's going to find ways to lose. That's just what they want to do at this point in the season. Cleveland at Orlando tips off at 7 o'clock. We got 222 points on the board between these two ball clubs. 5-point spread. It's favoring the Cavaliers. No Isaac Okoro. He's missed the last handful of games for the Cavs. It looks like Jared Allen's good to go. He's been on the game time decision report the last couple of games, but it looks like he's going to suit up and step out there tonight against my Orlando Magic. Orlando doesn't really have any crazy crucial injuries or anything like that. They still have an outside chance, believe it or not, of making the play, and I think they'd probably have to win almost every single game from here on out and hope that the Bulls lose some games, but there's a chance, I think, that the Orlando Magic's playoff hopes are still alive here. 7 o'clock, Milwaukee at Washington, another one that has a big blowout risk. 13-point spread. It's favoring the Milwaukee Bucks. Surprise, surprise. Not really, but 230.5 points. All right, nice little total here, but the spread is concerning. No Grayson Allen or Chris Middleton, so the Bucks are going to be a little bit thin on the wing. expect Javon Carter, Pat Connaughton to get some more run. You're probably going to see a guy like Jay Crowder, Wes Matthews get some minutes off the bench, okay? For the Washington Wizards, they're pretty much in tank mode as well. Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Monty Morris, Kristaps Porzingis, all shut down. None of those guys are playing tonight. It's going to be Gafford, Denny Adija, Corey Kispert, who's been playing well. Low-key, Corey Kispert's been putting up some stats. Johnny Davis and DeLon Wright manning the point guard spot. So again, first half only style game for me here. I don't think I'm interested in too many props from this one. Let's keep it moving because we got a ton of games to talk about. 7 o'clock also brings us Toronto at Charlotte. Speaking of teams who are trying to tank, we've got the Charlotte Hornets again tonight. 14.5 point spread. So the Toronto Raptors expected to beat the brakes off the Charlotte Hornets. And again, the Hornets would love to have Victor Wembanyama in Charlotte. Pair him up with the likes of LaMelo Ball, maybe some Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, PJ Washington. You got yourself a fun up and down style, fast-paced team, right? But in this case, tonight's not looking like a good night if you're a Charlotte Hornet fan or a player on their team, because it looks like it's going to be big time blowout. OG Anunoby, Will Barton, Gary Trent Jr., all game time decisions for the Raptors. So stay on top of the injury news. We talked about this, a couple of these guys from the last time these two teams met, which was a couple nights ago. Jakob Poeltl's first half points against the Hornets. We mentioned the Hornets giving up the most points per game to opposing centers in the last 7 games. So maybe Jakob Poeltl should be back on your radar for something like first half points. He covered in the first quarter, if memory serves me correct. So maybe he's in play again tonight. Minnesota at Brooklyn tips off at 7:30, 224.5 points with a 2-point spread. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves. Couple of injury situations to monitor. Karl-Anthony Towns being the most notable. Naz Reid already ruled out. But stay on top of the news. If Cat plays, then, that might be a downgrade for guys like Ant Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley. For the Brooklyn Nets, completely healthy are the Nets. So this one's got a decent little total at 224.5 with a 2-point spread. Feel free to take any full game props if you want from this one. We shouldn't, have any risk of blowout according to the spread here. 8 o'clock, Sacramento at New Orleans. 236.5 points between these two teams, fairly high total with a 4-point spread. Nothing crazy happening as far as injuries go on either side. So both teams going to have their key players, Sabonis, Fox. Over on the other side for New Orleans, McCollum, Ingram, Joe Val, all those guys are set to play tonight. So this will be a fun game to take some overs if you're liking some spots. So we'll take a look at that one a little bit and see if there's any plus EV plays from that New Orleans-Sacramento game. 8 o'clock also brings us Atlanta at Chicago. Another fun game for us to target here. 235 points with a 3.5-point spread. Lots of points on the total. Spread is close and competitive. Doesn't look like a blowout, but Trae Young is listed as a game time decision tonight. So definitely want to wait and see if he's going to be in or out. DeAndre Hunter is already ruled out. Caruso and Green, both game time decisions. They look closer to being probable than doubtful tonight. So if Trae Young sits out, then big bump to DeJounte Murray. When Trae Young sits out, DeJounte Murray's stats go through the roof typically. Denver at Houston, 8 o'clock tip off. We got 230.5 points with a 9-point spread. Nikola Jokic, game time decision. I don't know if they're resting him, being that they've pretty much locked up the Western Conference. They might just be getting him some extra rest as the playoffs come around. I don't know if he's going to play again tonight against Houston. They probably don't really need him. Houston, 19-60. They don't want to win any more basketball games. They want to lose. They want one of the top draft picks in this year's upcoming draft class. So keep an eye on Jokic's status. I could see a situation where they potentially sit the big man tonight. They probably don't need him to beat the Houston Rockets. But Jamal Murray listed as a game time decision. He's closer to being probable, though, than doubtful. Moving ahead here, 8 o'clock, Boston at Philadelphia. Again, a very good matchup here. Possibly a preview of the Eastern Conference Finals. Two of the best teams in the East. 227.5 points with a 2-point spread. It's favoring the Philadelphia 76ers. Big news for the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown, game time decision. Robert, the Time Lord Williams, already ruled out for Boston. Jaylen Brown, if he sits out tonight, you're going to see some more Malcolm Brogdon in the mix, along with Derek White and Marcus Smart. So we'll have to wait and see if JB is going to play tonight. Philadelphia does not have any injury news, so they're going to be completely healthy with Embiid, Tucker, Harris, Maxey, and Harden set to start this game. Moving it on to the 8 o'clock. Portland Trail Blazers, as we mentioned in previous shows, guys, they have pulled the plug on their regular season. At 33-45, they have no chance to make the playoffs. There's no need to put any more wear and tear or mileage on some of their best players. So you're not going to see the likes of Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, Yusuf Nurkic, Jeremy Grant. All those guys are out. Even Nazir Little's out. I mean, they've really said, screw it. Whatever happens, happens from here on out. We know we're not in the playoffs. So this one has a 17.5-point spread. The Memphis Grizzlies are expected to run away with this one. 228.5 points. Guys, if you want to play anything from this game, be careful. Maybe take it as a first half only play. I will say this, Drew Eubanks has been scoring pretty well at the center position. So if his point line is at like 9.5 or 10.5 today, maybe you go over on Drew Eubanks points. We took Shaedon Sharpe over 3.5 assists last time these teams played. Portland guard Shaedon Sharpe went well over 3.5 assists pretty easily. So both Sharpe and Eubanks hit those props. Eubanks over points, Sharpe over assists. 9 o'clock tip off between the Lakers and the Jazz. The Jazz, another one of these teams who just seem to kind of be on the way out. Like, I don't think they want to make the playoffs or anything. Kessler is out. Gay is out. Clarkson is out. Looks like Colin Sexton listed as a game time decision along with Lauri Markkanen, their best player. I'd really be surprised if Sexton and or Markkanen end up playing tonight. Lakers, however, do have playoff hopes and aspirations still. LeBron James listed as a game time decision. I expect him to give it a go as the Lakers at 40-38 have a real shot of making the postseason tonight. The Lakers are favored by 9. The total is sweet though at 237.5, so you could take some full game props from this one, but first half would probably be the safer route. OKC at Golden State, 10 o'clock tip off here. We're getting into some of these late games. 242.5 points with an 8-point spread. Golden State favored by 8. They say that Andrew Wiggins is getting closer and closer to making his return to the team. But for now, it'll be Dante DiVincenzo getting the starting nod at that small forward spot. OKC has no injuries. They're sitting at 38-41. They are really, really close. They're on the bubble, I think, to making the playoffs. So I think OKC wants to win tonight. They might as well go for it, right? At 38-41, they might as well just go for it, try to make the playoffs if they can. So I got SGA as our thumbnail player of the game. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is in for a good night tonight against that Golden State backcourt. All right, and then the final game of the night, another big blowout here, 236 points. I think this is the biggest spread of any of the games tonight, a 19-point spread, okay? Favoring the Phoenix Suns. San Antonio, another one of those teams that would be better off losing than winning at this point so that they can land somebody like a Wembanyama in this upcoming draft. For the Phoenix Suns, this will be a tune-up game as they look to kind of gel, build that chemistry. Kevin Durant re-entering that starting lineup. His minutes are starting to get ramped up. So you're going to see Ayton, Durant, Kogi, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul probably squash San Antonio like the cockroaches that they are. Sorry, San Antonio fans. It is what it is. Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan already ruled out. You're probably going to see Keldon Johnson sit out. Maybe even Romeo Langford, Zach Collins, Kim Birch sit out. All right? They don't want to win any basketball games. What does San Antonio have to play for other than draft picks coming up, right? That's kind of the situation there. So there's your 13 NBA games. We ran through them as quickly as possible. Guys, if you have any questions about any injury news, or if you find out any injury news as we're live here, let us know in the chat. Don't be afraid to shout it out. If somebody gets ruled out or ruled in, somebody that we talked about that's an impact player, let us know, guys. It's a team effort here. Anyways, let's get into today's PrizePicks taco. All right, we got ourselves the first taco up on the board. It is Joel Embiid, his PRA points, rebounds, and assist line from 46.5 down to 41.5. I've seen some folks already saying that this taco sucks. What do you guys think though? Are we rocking with this Joel Embiid taco? Is it a crunchy taco? Is it a soft taco? Is it one we want to devour? Is it one that we want to send back to the chef and say, nah, we ain't eating this. We ain't eating this. One strategy that you could do here on Taco Tuesday is you could hedge your bets. And the way that you do that, you would take the over on the taco at 41.5. And then you would go to the 46.5, the original taco line, and you would take the under. That could be a sound strategy at times. Let's take a look at Joel Embiid real quick and see what projections are looking good for Embiid. Is he, projected to go over this taco, under this taco? Well, guys, I got a pretty solid projection on Joel Embiid's PRA line at 47.7 projected points, rebounds, and assists. He's at 46.5 PRA on a lot of these sports books. So for us getting him at 41.5, I mean, I think this taco, you just have to take the over and hope for the best, right? At 41.5. That's a 5 PRA difference or discount. So he's projected for 47.7 on a line of 41.5. Now, even at 46.5, I don't know that I would take the under at 46.5. I think I'm just going to take the taco here and hope that it hits. I don't know that I want to play the take the under on the original line game tonight with Joel Embiid, especially with him vying for a playoff spot. I'm sorry, vying for an MVP, vying for an MVP trophy, not a playoff spot. They're going to make the playoffs. Vying for an MVP award, MVP trophy, right? Playing at home, I don't think I want to take any unders on Joel Embiid tonight. I know Boston's tough. They're going to be without Robert Williams, so that's going to leave what? Al Horford? And who else behind him? Blake Griffin? They don't have much at the center spot. I know historically Joel Embiid, not the greatest matchup for him when he plays against the C's, but let's go pull up some game logs real quick on Embiid at 41.5. Let's just show you what it's looking like here using props.cash. Guys, if you're not using props.cash yet, go do yourself a favor. If you want all the stats, all the information, projections recently added here on props.cash, you get it all for like 20 bucks a month, I think it is. Well worth it. And I could save you 25% off your first month. Use code Curry. I've left a link down in the description. I'm partnered up with these folks because I believe in their product so much. So check out props.cash. So you can see Joel Embiid at 46.5, 53% hit rate at 46.5 PRA, but we're going to dial this down to 41.5 because that's where his taco line is set at. Now we go all the way down to 41.5 PRA, 47 for 64 this season, my friends. That's a 73% hit rate, meaning roughly 3 out of every 4 times Joel Embiid steps out on a basketball court, he goes over 41.5 PRA. Okay? 73% hit rate. 41.5 PRA. Now, some of you guys are wondering, does he play better at home versus away? We've talked about splits in previous shows. We'll look at the splits right now. 47.3 for the season. When he plays at home, 48.5 PRA. So he actually produces more points, rebounds, and assists when he plays at home than he does when he's on the road. So a 48.5 home PRA average on a line of 41.5. Now, he's missed this in his last 2 home games with just 37 and 38. But overall, if we look at the bigger sample size here, 25 for 34, that's a 74% hit rate at 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So again, you just have to kind of take this, man, and hope for the best. Hope that Embiid comes out there motivated, ready to play. Here's something that's pretty cool. The last time that he played the Boston Celtics in Philadelphia at home, 58 points, rebounds, and assists against the Celtics in that game. So that's the type of upside that Embiid has in this matchup versus the Boston Celtics. This was February 25th. This wasn't that long ago, a little over a month ago, 58 points, rebounds, and assists against the Celtics. Now, if we take off the home filter, we just look at all matchups versus the Celtics, it's going to look ugly at 46.5. But again, we're talking about a line of 41.5. So we got to dial this down, slide this down on, if you're using props.cash, to 41.5. And now you got a 2 out of 3 hit rate. 46 at Boston in October. Just 36 at Boston back at the start of February. But he got his revenge playing at home, hosting the Boston Celtics like we talked about, 58 points, rebounds, and assists. So he's 2 for 3. He's averaging a healthy 46.7 PRA when he plays against the Boston Celtics this season. So again, averaging more PRA at home. He's playing at home tonight. 2 for 3 against Boston. And we had a projection of 47.7 PRA on a line of 41.5. So now that you got a little bit more information, now that I've armed you with a little bit more info, do you feel more confident about taking Joel Embiid's taco at 41.5? And if you do feel confident about taking the over on Joel Embiid's taco at 41.5, I've got a second question for you. Do you feel confident about taking the under on Joel Embiid at 46.5, his original PRA line? Let me know what you want to do. As Desmond saying, by the way, shout out to Desmond. He's saying that these Boston Celtics guys are going to be barbecue chicken. Good to see you, Desmond. Thanks for joining us. Everyday Fantasy coming through saying Denny Adija is out tonight. So there you go. Washington Wizards already shaking up things tonight. We already talked about Beal, Kuzma, Porzingis, Morris. Now they're resting Denny Adija. Yeah, it's pretty apparent the Washington Wizards have no desire to win tonight. But listen, guys, I think for me, this will be my first pick of the day. The over on Joel Embiid's taco at 41.5. That's what I'm going with. If you don't want to take it, I think you're kind of crazy, to be honest with you, with the value that we're getting here. It's not a free square, though, right? These tacos can fall apart and leave your hands messy, okay? Don't get it twisted. Not a free square. These tacos are not free, but we got to take them. You have the next 3 hours to decide. So if you don't want to decide just now or just yet, you don't have to. You got time. All right. So now that we have our first play, we're going to try to build at least a 5 pick out of this. Maybe we go 6 picks. Guys, if you have questions and you want to be featured on today's show, feel free to use the super chat functionality. You can help support the show, support the channel, support free content. Okay. And it'll highlight your comment in the live chat. And it'll get you some one-on-one help. You go one-on-one with the great one. I'll help you with whatever player prop questions you might have. So feel free to use that super chat function if you have something that's hard hitting, something that is a pressing matter or need. I'm here to help you with that. All right, let's refresh the optimizer. Guys, if you have been watching my MLB videos, if you have been watching any of these NBA live shows that we do here each and every day on YouTube, well, you know that we've been using this daily grind fantasy optimizer and it's been working wonders. We went well over 65% on picks that I posted to Patreon last month for the month of March. Well over 65% hit rate. And most of them were found right here from this optimizer. So we're going to go through it. We're going to look at some of these plays that are plus EV, positive expected value plays. And we're going to see which ones are projecting well, and try to put together at least a 5 pick or a 6 pick before this is all said and done. So the first one that's really popping off here is Fred VanVleet's assist at 8.5, according to the optimizer, 54.3% chance for him to go over 8.5 dimes tonight. He's playing against the Charlotte Hornets. There is blowout risk. We talked about this game being an absolute runaway smash spot for the Raptors where they should kill Charlotte rather. Pretty easily. So 54.3%, Fred VanVleet. Let's go pull a projection up for VanVleet here. I got him projected for about 8 dimes. Again, the blowout is a little bit concerning for me. So I think for me, I'm going to probably reserve this game for first half only plays. But those of you who are wondering, Fred VanVleet projected for 8 dimes according to Fantasy Labs. Let's go Fred VanVleet. On another one of these models here, they got him projected for 6.97. So let's round it up, call it 7 assists. That's less than 8.5. So while it is considered a plus EV play, I don't like the fact that he's being projected for just 7 to 8 assists on a couple of different models. For me, I'm going to walk away from this one and look for something a little bit better. How about this one? Giannis Antetokounmpo, points and rebounds, 42.5. Optimizer suggesting we take the under based on odds pulled from the sports books, comparing them to PrizePicks lines. He's at 41.5 PR, points and rebounds on the sports books, 42.5 on PrizePicks, so maybe they're a touch too high. On the Greek Freak, 54.1% chance that he stays under 42.5 points and rebounds. So let's pull up a projection on that one. Maybe that one's a good way to go. Let's see. Giannis projected for 47.1 points and rebounds. Whew. Well, 47.1 on a line of 42.5. I don't think that I feel comfortable going under, even though it is, like I said, a plus EV play. Let's pull up a projection for his points and rebounds on a second model here. They got him more at a conservative 42.1 PR tonight. All right, so you got a model 42.1, another model up to 47.1. So again, I'm just going to walk away. Let's look for another play that not only is a plus EV play, but also projects well. Let's keep going through here. What about Jalen Williams? Do we trust him for less than 6.5 points tonight? going up against the Phoenix Suns. 53.7% chance that he stays under 6.5 points, according to this optimizer here. So let's pull some projections on Jalen Williams. Now this is Jaylin, Jalen, not Jalen. This is the lesser of the two Jalen Williams for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So don't get confused, okay? This is the one that doesn't do so much scoring. So they're wanting to take the under on Jaylin Williams. Listen, he's projected for 5.3 points tonight going up against the Golden State Warriors. So plus EV, check. Projected for less than 6.5, check. Let's check one more model real quick on Jalen Williams. 6.24 points. That is less than 6.5, closer to 6 and 7. So, I mean, for me, this is fine. This is a fine first or second play, if you count the taco, second play. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Jalen Williams in here for less than 6.5 points. Okay, two projection models that I trust and rely on have him going for less than 6.5 points. So there's pick number 2. It's plus EV, it's projected under. What more do you want, okay? Guys got to go out there and like not make any shots and not score the ball, and then we're in good shape. How about this next one? Alperen Sengun, 8.5 rebounds, over. 53.7% chance, according to the optimizer here, that he finds at least 9 rebounds tonight. We talked about the Houston Rockets. They are in a tank situation. So let's look at Sengun's rebound projection here. Got him going for about 8.4 boards against the Denver Nuggets. Now, for me, this play is really going to hinge on Nikola Jokic and his availability and his status tonight. Now, if Joker is out, I think this game ends up staying way more close, way more competitive. And the matchup becomes a lot easier for Sengun against Joker, correct? Should have an easier time rebounding the basketball. So if you want to wait for Nikola Jokic news, I'm not mad at that. I really don't think that the Nuggets have to play Joker tonight in order to beat the Rockets. I think they've been trying to get him some rest. So if he sits tonight, wouldn't be at all surprised by that. So we got a projection here. First projection, 8.4. Let's pull up another one here. Sengun's rebounds on the second model, 9.4. So anywhere from 8.4 to 9.4 projected rebounds on a line of 8.5. I'm going to go ahead and throw him in there. I'm going to bank on Nikola Jokic not playing tonight. Again, I don't think that they need him to play. Hopefully he doesn't. And this game ends up staying just a little bit more competitive. And Sengun ends up finding at least 9 rebounds tonight against a Nuggets team without Jokic. It's a risk. But hey, it could pay off, because if this guy ends up going against a Nuggets squad that does not have Nikola Jokic, then I think 9, 10, 11 rebounds could be in his future tonight. So there's 3 plays. These two, Jalen Williams, Alperen Sengun, both plus EV plays, both projecting pretty darn good. So let's find some more. We're going to go for, you guys want to go for 5 picks or 6 picks? Let me know. Those of you who are watching live, 5 or 6 picks today. What do you want to do? 5, obviously, you get 5 out of 5 right, you get a 10x payout. 6 out of 6, you get a 25x payout. We could run this up to 5 or 6. All right, go for it all. Yeah, because if the taco slaps like the taco's supposed to slap, well, your 6 pick's really a 5 pick, right? Not that the taco's a free square, but if the taco comes through like we're all hoping it does, we just got to get the other 5 picks right. So let's take a look at this next one here. And speaking of this next one, super chat from Everyday Fantasy, he's shouting this one out, and we were going to talk about it anyway, but now we're really going to talk about it. Vucevic, 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Chicago Bulls center Nikola Vucevic. All right, 30.5 PRA. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Thank you, Everyday Fantasy. That's our guy, Don P in Discord. For those of you who are wondering, who is Everyday Fantasy? That's Don P. That's our boy. Don P's got him 30.5. Vucevic going over 30.5 PRA. It's looking like a good look right here, because I got him projected for 32.2 PRA against the Hawks tonight. Clint Capella in Atlanta. So that's a great first projection. 30.5 line with a 32.2 projection. How about this next one here? Another projection. 32.9 points, rebounds, and assists for Vucevic. number. Shout out to Gucci. This is Vucci, though. We're talking about Vucci. He's projected for almost 33 PRA on 2 different models, man. 32 to 33 PRA, roughly. Plus EV play over a 53, nearly 54% chance that he clears the 30.5 number. I think this makes for a fine play. I mean, like I said, what else do you guys want? You know, we don't make any guarantees, but mathematically speaking, we are in great shape with these first 3 picks, the taco, and then these 3. I mean, these are all plus EV plays. They're all projecting really well. I like that, though. Good shout out. Good shout out from Everyday Fantasy on this one. Let's see. Broderick coming through with a super chat. He's liking Devin Booker for more than whatever his turnover line is. Let's pull Booker up real quick. Let's answer this super chat. Maybe this is one that we need to throw into the mix here. We got D-Book. 2.5 turnovers. He's hit this in 5 straight. You know, I'm not a last 5 guy. I need a bigger sample size. I can't fall for the old last 5 okey doke. All right. And when I want to see game logs beyond the last 5, well, I come to props.cash. And then, you know, I could go to the game right here on the left-hand side. I could click on Devin Booker's name. We could pull up his turnovers for the entire season here. He's averaging about 2.8 turnovers per game. 25 for 51 overall on the season, 49% hit rate. You can even look at the home games. Booker 2.8 for the season, averages 2.9 turnovers at home. My friends, look at the turnovers here for Devin Booker in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. His last 9 home games, he's hit the over 3 or more turnovers. 9 out of his last 9, just to give you a better look at this here. Booker, 9 out of his last 10. If you look at the last 10 game logs using something like props.cash, right? That's a 3.6 turnover per game average. So he seems to like to turn the ball over a lot, playing in Phoenix for some reason. I think you're onto something here. Now, let me see if I have a projection. I know Fantasy Labs, Action Labs, they do not have projections for turnovers for whatever reason. So we're going to go over here and take a look at Booker's turnover projection. He's at 2.5, his line on PrizePicks, but he's projected for 1.96. So that's 2. So that's less than 2.5. Huh. Okay. All right. Let's go over to NumberFire real quick. This is another, this site right here is completely free if you're looking for a site that provides projections. Check out NumberFire. They got fantasy score. They got single stat projections. And in this case, their single stat projection for Devin Booker's turnovers are sitting at 2.4. So 2 reliable models here have him projected for about 1.96. We'll call it 2 to 2.4 on a line of 2.5. Now, I don't know what kind of juice this is getting. Let's go take a look here and see if it's on the optimizer. Optimizer, they have him at 2.5 turnovers. On the over, that would be about a 50.7% chance for him to go over. So is it a plus EV play? Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, barely. 0.7% edge in our favor based on the odds on the sports books on this prop. I'm going to leave this one off of our 6 pick that we're building right now. I'm going to leave it off. But there is something to be said about the fact that he's turned the ball over at least 3 times in 9 straight games at home. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe there's something to this, right? Also worth pointing out, he is 0 for 1 against San Antonio. Only played the Spurs once. It was back on December 4th. He did have 2 turnovers in that game, but that was a road game, not a home game. As far as where the Spurs rank in turnovers allowed this season, they rank 14th. They're going to be without some of their best players today, though. So I don't know if a lot of these role players, these backup guys who are typically on the bench, now stepping into a starting role, I don't know if they've got the same sticky fingers or defensive propensity that the San Antonio Spurs starters do when it comes to forcing turnovers on the opposing teams. So I don't know. I'm going to stay away from it, though. Especially with the blowout. I mean, maybe he doesn't play in the 4th quarter. And that's 1 less quarter. 6 to 8 minutes in that quarter, roughly, that Devin Booker may not be out there. I mean, with a 19-point spread, it's a little scary, right? You got Chris Paul, DeAndre, Ayton, Kevin Durant. You got a lot of ball handlers out there for the Phoenix Suns. I'm going to stay away, but I don't hate the pick. I don't hate it. I would flex it only, though. It wouldn't be a power play for me. There we go. We'll leave it at that. Flex play only, probably not a power play for me. But hopefully that helps you out. Let's see. What else do we have here on the optimizer? Anything else popping off here? We got Vucevic. We talked about him. Dante DiVincenzo at 3.5 dimes. 53.7% chance that he stays under 3.5 assists. We talked about DiVincenzo moving into that starting role. He's been starting in the absence of Andrew Wiggins. So let's take a look at DDV. Dante DiVincenzo's assists. We're going to pull up some projections on Dante. I got it projected for exactly 3.5 on one model here. That could go either way according to the projection, right? It could go 3, it could go 4. Let's pull them up on another one. How about 3.5 here? Oh, there we go. Projected for 2.52 according to RotoWire. So we got a 3.5 as low as down to a 2.5 projection window on DiVincenzo. Let's go one more here. Let's run this through a third model. Projected for 2.7 assists according to Number Fire. All right, so that makes me feel a little bit better. We kind of had like a tiebreaker situation there. So we have two models that have them under 3 assists. One model that has them at exactly 3.5. So I'm feeling better about this one now. Plus EV play, already talked about that. I think we can go ahead and put him in there for less than 3.5 dimes against OKC tonight. So here's what we're working with so far. For those of you who are just joining us, Joel Embiid Taco, got to take that. All right, he's projected for like 47.7 points, rebounds, and assists tonight. Love that projection. Jalen Williams for less than 6.5 points. Not really a big time score. He's projecting well, plus EV, of course. You should go without saying, I'm not playing anything unless it's plus EV, okay? I don't play anything unless it's a plus EV play. Alperen Sengun for more than 8.5 rebounds. Probably the most controversial pick right now would be this Sengun one, because without Jokic, I think it becomes a really nice play. With Jokic in, and of course we don't know if Jokic is in or out tonight, but with Jokic in, maybe it becomes more of a blowout type of game. Maybe Sengun has a harder matchup versus the likes of Joker. All right, so this is the most controversial pick, I would say, of the bunch right now. Vucevic, very nice play over PRA, and then Dante DiVincenzo less than 3.5. That's what we got so far, 5 picks. Now we could lock this in, put 25 on it, max out this taco for a chance to win $250. We could do that, but I think we push it, right? You guys said you want to go for 6, right? 25x, is that right? Here comes a second super chat from a man, Broderick Chatham. He says, what about Jason Tatum over rebounds and assists tonight? I have not looked Tatum's way. What is his rebound and assist number looking like, by the way? 14? Indicating it's probably already either been bumped up from 13.5 or bumped down from 14.5. Do you like it? Broderick at 14? Was that the line you wanted to take? Chris, yeah, I watch basketball. Do I watch every single game? Well, there's only one of me and anywhere from 8 to 13 games on any given night. So can't say that I've watched too many Alperen Sengun, Nikola Jokic matchups, but sounds like you have. And we appreciate you for dropping those brain nuggets for us. But no, I'll do better. King. Thank you, though. Let's go Jason Tatum, rebounds and assists here. Rebounds and assists sitting at 14 here on PrizePicks. The line is 13.5 on your favorite sports book. Now, I don't feel great about putting a prop in our 6 pick that could potentially tie or push, because then it goes from a 6 pick down to potentially a 5 pick or a 5 to a 4. You know how they do, right? They revert it down to a smaller entry size, and I don't like that game. No, that's not a game that I like to play. But let's look at it anyway, since you did come through with a sweet super chat. We appreciate those. 50.95. 50.95 on Tatum's rebound and assist line at 14. Optimizer suggesting we take the under but you're saying go over at 14. Let's pull some projections on this thing real quick. Let's look at this this line for Jason Tatum. All right, here's one projection, 13.5. 13.5 on most books. You're seeing the site like PointsBet has him at 14.5. Big betting favorite at 13.5, but a big betting favorite under 14.5. So it really seems like it is setting up for one of those situations where he lands on 14, where it could be a tie, where it could be a push potentially. Let's get you one more projection here. Line is 14, projection is 14. Yeah. Let's look at this matchup, because you mentioned that Jason Tatum versus Philadelphia, usually a pretty good little matchup here. Let's see what his like floor and ceiling is going up against the 76ers. And so here you go. You got 3 matchups. Jason Tatum versus the Philadelphia 76ers this season. At a line of 13.5 rebounds and assists, he's hit 16, 17, and 19 rebounds and assists in 3 different games versus Philadelphia. 16, 17, and 19. He's actually increased his rebounds and assists output in each game over game in all 3 of those games. So there's some potential here for him to go over. Let's even take it back to last season. Whew. All right. Hey, those of you who like the color green, this one's for you. The last 7 times that Jason Tatum's played the Philadelphia 76ers, my friends, 15 or more rebounds and assists in every single game. He is 7 for his last 7 versus Philadelphia, averaging 17 rebounds and assists per game. So there is definitely some upside here for Tatum. For whatever reason, he rebounds and drops dimes against the 76ers at a very good rate. Y'all like these green beans? Mr. Broderick might have just put us on something sweet. All right, normally I don't play props that could tie or push. Normally that's not my jam. But with historical hit rates, like Jason Tatum versus the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm going to take a shot, and golly, you know, worst case scenario, he ends up with 14, and then we go 5 for our other 5 here, and we end up with a 10x payout. Let's go. Let's max this taco out. I think the most you could put on a taco, at least for me anyway, $25 to win 625. Full send on this taco, baby. Full sending. So that was Embiid over his 41.5 taco line. Jalen Williams under 6.5 points. Şengün over 8.5 boards. According to Chris White, our resident Şengün versus Jokic matchup expert, he says that Şengün versus Jokic ain't no problem. It ain't no problem for Şengün. And we got Vucevic over 30.5 PRA. DiVincenzo less on 3.5 assists than Jason Tatum over 14 rebounds and assists. So there you go. I mean, that is a 6 pick, all plus EV, all projecting well for your first taco. Now you don't have to feel pressured or forced into taking all 6 of these picks. Maybe there's 1 or 2 that really caught your eye, that really stand out to you. Maybe you want to make like a little same game parlay type of situation where you just take Embiid over his taco with Jason Tatum over his rebounds and assist line at 14. Little 2-pick power play. May not be a bad look. It could be an option for you. All right, Vucevic was another one that looked really good. Maybe you go Vucevic, Tatum, and Embiid and go like 3-pick power. I don't know. You can get funky, get weird with it. Go check out my MLB video. Maybe take 1 or 2 of the picks out of there. You throw it in like with 3 or 4 of the picks from here, and now you got a 5 to 6 pick flex entry on Taco Tuesday. So, I mean, that could be a move. Could be a move. Anyway, do what you want. It's your money. None of my business what you do with your money. I'm making it my business to share with you what I'm doing with my money, though. Okay? So those are 6 plus EV projected well type of plays. Let's refresh the optimizer here and go through some of these questions. You guys are lacing us with a lot of different questions. Let's see what you got here. Mac B. Shout out to Mac B. Y'all know about Mac B. Y'all better ask somebody. Mac B. He's in these streets, these player prop streets. He's got Joval for points and rebounds. He's saying there's good value on this. Let's look it up real quick. Jonas Valanciunas, points and rebounds. Where's he at? Now you're saying there's good value on this. What are you basing that off of, my friend MacB? Let me ask you, what are you seeing on this that makes you say good value? Because I'm looking at his line, all right? I got him pulled up on the optimizer here. 27.5 points and rebounds. About a 50% chance that he goes over. About a damn near 50% chance that he goes under. Slightly more chance that I guess that he goes under or over rather at 27.5 points and rebounds. Where are you seeing the value on this play? Because it ain't in the odds. It ain't in the sports book math here. Okay. Let's look at it though. MacB mentioned it. MacB, I don't want any problems with you. I've heard about you. So I'm gonna just go pull some projections and let those do the talking. All right, I got a projection for 26.6 points and rebounds. 26.6 on a line of 27.5. Okay, that's less than 27.5. You said there's value. I'm still looking for it. I'm trying to see what you see here, my friend. You know me, I go straight by the numbers. Here's a projection, 30.7 points and rebounds. So we talked about 50% chance to go over, 50% chance to go under. We got one model saying under. We got one model saying over. I mean, there's just too many mixed signals here for me to feel great about going really over or under on Valanciunas. I think I'm just going to walk away from this one, man. I think I'm going to step back. And if you want to take this one, MacB, we're not in this together. I'm going to leave it alone. Just my preference. Roy says Joval versus Kings is fireworks. Historically speaking, I guess you mean. Let's look. Points and rebounds. Let's go find the game logs here. You guys are saying, I got to see it to believe it. Maybe I got to see it to believe it. All right. He's played Sacramento once this season. Did go for 31 points and rebounds in that game. Again, we would have to go look and see who was active for that game. Like, you know, was Brandon Ingram there? Was Zion Williamson playing? Who was in? Who was out for New Orleans? Zion probably wasn't in. Just a spoiler alert. But back to last season, Sacramento, 3 times he played the Kings. He did go over in 2 out of 3 games. So, I mean, 3 out of his last 4 matchups against the Kings, he has gone over 27.5 points and rebounds. All right, so he's 1 for 1. I mean, you know, this season's kind of a small sample size, just 1 game. He's averaging 24.5 points and rebounds for the season, but has really started to pick up the pace here in the last like 10 games. Seems like he's starting to get like way more minutes. Just when we thought like his minutes were down, like you saw some games in here where he had like 34, 33, 34. Started to taper off just a little bit in his last like 3-4 games. But there's like 30 plus minute upside for Joval here over his last 10 games as the Pelicans are pushing toward, you know, the playoffs. So, okay, you know, potentially maybe we go over on this. I don't like the fact that it's not really a strong plus EV play or projected sort of unanimously to go over on these models. I'm a picky player prop taker. Okay. Let's look at the splits for Valanciunas. He's going to be at home tonight. At home this season, 22.3 points and rebounds. On the road, 26.7. That's a pretty significant difference as far as his points and rebounds output. So on the road, Joval putting up like more than 4 points and rebounds more than he is at home. So the splits situation, not favorable for Valanciunas tonight. We could build another 6 pick, but I'm not going to put him in there. I'm going to stay away from that one. You guys might be right, though. I know I'm wrong a lot. I'm right a lot, too, but I'm wrong, too, at times. So whatever y'all want to do. MacB says, smash the like button for my boy CJ. Appreciate that. Yeah, hit that like button to let YouTube know that you guys are liking the content. They don't want me to get this message out to you guys. They don't want people to see this stream, apparently. They've been sort of not recommending my videos since I've made my return. You know, I had to take a little hiatus away from YouTube for like a month and a half. Well, ever since then, it seems like they've been trying to stifle me, trying to censor me. I won't be censored, YouTube. The people deserve to know what picks are the best on PrizePicks. You can't muzzle me. I'm just kidding. But yeah, smash the like button. Jose coming through with a super chat. He says, does taking the worst percentage on the Daily Fantasy Optimizer reverse work too? I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying like if we were to go to like, let's see, like Valanciunas, 47.2% chance that he goes under. You're saying like go down to the very bottom and like because this has like a low chance for him to stay under 13.5, we should just go ahead and consider the over. Well, I mean, to flip that around on you, for example, if you look at the rebounds and assists on Valanciunas, I mean 52.7% chance that he goes over. So, I mean, this has a better chance of him going over than it does him going under. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I've never tried that, by the way, to like go down to the very bottom and like just play the ones in red. No, I just look for the ones at the top with the pretty colors. You want to see like orange, or you want to see like the bright yellow or the greens. Like, let me refresh this thing. Let me see if some more stuff's popping off here. So like the number one option right now is Fred VanVleet, 54.3% chance to go over. You can see that one's highlighted in this lime green yellowish color, 54.3. But no, I've never decided to go all the way down to the bottom and play like the worst ones in the opposite direction, I guess is maybe what you're asking, I think. T-Bone coming through, he's asking, what about Draymond Green and his assists? Like I said, folks, can't get to everybody's question. One man, only so little time for one person. You know, I do my best. I do my best, though. Draymond Green's assist, you're wanting to go over or under? What did you say here? You didn't really say, really. I mean, Draymond Green's assist, though, at 7.5. He's got about a 50.6% chance of going under 7.5 assists. So is it plus EV? Well, yeah, but barely. And it's not over, it's under. You'd want to go under. A little bit of a better chance that it goes under. But it's really more of a coin flip than anything on Draymond Green. So let's look at it. 7.6 projected dimes. And then we got another projection of 5.7. So 5.7 to 7.6. That's a pretty wide range of potential outcomes. So I'd probably just say stay away. Stay away from it. Caesar, thank you for reminding me. I guess I did somehow lose your super chat. Evan Mobley over 1.5 blocks. Caesar, sorry about that. I got you though. Appreciate you pointing that out. Let's go find Evan Mobley's blocks. Caesar's asking about it. He wants to know if we should be taking the over on Evan Mobley's blocks, or maybe he's already decided he will take the over on Evan Mobley's blocks, and he's trying to put us on a winner here. I can tell you this, according to the optimizer, at 1.5 block shots, 53.4% chance that Evan Mobley goes over, that he records at least 2 blocks tonight as they take on, I believe they take on my Orlando Magic, don't they? Cleveland and Orlando. Ooh. So you got Mobley swatting my squad at least twice tonight. Okay, well, the odds are in your favor, Caesar. It looks like he will record at least 2 blocks according to the way that the mathematics on these sports books, the odds are in your favor. So let's go look at a projection here for Emo. Evan Mobley projected for 1.9 block shots. Again, he's going to be visiting Orlando. 1.9 on a line of 1.5. That is a favorable block projection. Let's pull up one more for you because I'm thorough like that. I'm thorough like that for you guys. I go above and beyond. 1.56 projected blocks. So one projection, not a super strong one, but the other one at 1.9 looks pretty good. Let's get you one more here. One more, Caesar. Evan Mobley blocks 1.8. Maybe that makes you feel a little bit better. All three projections are over 1.5 for what it's worth. The other two, though, 1.8, 1.9, should feel a little bit better about taking the over there. It's plus EV. It's projecting pretty well. So, Caesar, I think that's all that really matters. You're getting your money in good, my friend, on that. Vucevic PRA has been bumped up. Those of you who are watching live, did you get Vucevic in at 30.5 PRA? Did you get it good? He's up to 31 right now, according to Kyle. Okay. Dave the Beast. Dave the Beast. That reminds me of Dave Batista. Didn't they used to call him the Beast when he was in WWE? The Beast Batista. Anthony Davis PRA over. We have not talked any Anthony Davis tonight. Los Angeles Lakers still battling for a playoff spot. They want to lock it in, right? So let's go see if AD over PRA makes any sense. We got him at 42.5 on PrizePicks. At a 42.5 PRA line up, just a 50.1% chance that he goes under in this case. Slightly better odds that he goes under than he does go over, but it's about a 50-50 coin flip here type of play. And I don't like those type of plays. I'm not a coin flip kind of guy. I don't like coin flips. He's projected for 42 on a line of 42.5. That's a very, very tight projection. Let me get you one more. 39.5. So he's under 42.5 on one model. He's under 42.5 on a second model. So not loving the fact that he is projecting under on two different sites and that he's basically a 50-50 chance for him to go over and or under. So I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to leave it alone. Ripo's liking some Anthony Davis fantasy points. Now that could be a good way to go. When Anthony Davis is blocking shots and or getting steals, his fantasy score can quickly go through the roof. I mean, he could rack up fantasy points fast. You get 3 points for every block, 3 points for every steal, and if Anthony Davis is doing those two things, well, yeah, I mean, he could absolutely smoke his fantasy score pretty quick. Let me get you an Anthony Davis projection on his fantasy score while we're talking about it. I got him projected for about 53 fantasy score. You said his line is at like 51.5 on PrizePicks, Ripo? Well, then there you go. 53 projected fantasy points. If you're using a projection for fantasy points, by the way, make sure you're using FanDuel here on for NBA. FanDuel projections, whether you're using Fantasy Labs like I am, or NumberFire, or RotoWire, or whoever you use for your projections, make sure that you're using FanDuel projections. So, 53 projected fantasy points on a line of 51.5 for AD fantasy. Let's see. Desmond's mentioning Clint Capella's rebounds. Clint Capella 7 for his last 7 in his last 2 years versus Nikola Vucevic. Well, that is an interesting head-to-head matchup statistic there. Let's go find Clint Capella. 7 for 7. I mean, that means he's hit at a 100% hit rate. That should make you make your ears kind of perk up, right? We got Clint Capella at 10 boards today here on PrizePicks. His line on the sports books is 10.5, which means he's been bumped down on PrizePicks. According to the odds pulled from these sports books, he's got a slightly better chance to go under at 10 rebounds than he does to go over. 50.6 to go under versus 49.3 to go over. Okay. Let's pull up a couple of projections here just to see what's what. I got Capella at about 9.8. We round that up. That's 10, right? Which would be a push on PrizePicks. I got him at a projection of 11.5 rebounds on a line of 10, according to RotoWire. Let's get one more here. One more to kind of break this tie. 10.6 on a line of 10. So, 10 to 11. I mean, most of these models have them about 10 to 11. Let's go look at what you were talking about, though. You said Clint Capella versus Nikola Vucevic. He seems to rebound the basketball better against Vooch. Pulling in 10 or more boards at a pretty high rate. Let's look. 14 boards and 12 boards, 2 for 2 this season against the Chicago Bulls, right? Go back to last season here. If we bump him down to 9.5, 10 or better in all 5 games, 5 out of his last 5 going back to last season. It's kind of like that Jason Tatum prop at 14 rebounds and assists. This guy just seems to kind of get it done against Vooch. 16, 15, 17, 11, 14, and 12. Those are his last 6 matchups against Vucevic and the Chicago Bulls. 14.2 rebounds per game on a line of 10. So, yeah, Clint Capella's doing pretty good for himself here. That could be one that you sneak in there at 10 boards. Maybe he ties, maybe he pushes, but then again, maybe he goes for 11 or more like he has the last 6 times that he's played the Bulls. Shout out to Desmond for bringing that one up. I think that's a pretty fine look. Everyday Fantasy coming through with another super chat. Appreciate those super chats. He's talking some Triple J. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s 1.5 turnovers. He's wanting to take the over. Well, you know what I'm going to do. First and foremost, I'm going to make sure that we're on some plus EV with this. So we got Jaren Jackson's turnovers. The optimizer giving this about a 53.3% chance for him to hit the over. In other words, he's going to turn it over at least twice according to the optimizer. And the way that the optimizer works, it's taking the odds from the sports books, it's stripping the VIG and giving us true odds. Minus 132 betting favorite to go over. So that's looking good. So far, so good. Let me see if I got some projections for you on that. Jaren Jackson Jr. So we talked about his turnovers. He's at 1.5, projected for 2. 1.5, projected for 2. That's a good start. Let me get you one more. Again, this is a Number Fire free site for you guys who are looking for some projections, fantasy score, single stat. They got it right here on Number Fire for you. You don't have to pay. You just have to sign up, create a free account. 1.8 turnovers. So yeah, 2 projections, both have them going over 1.5. So you can definitely put some Triple J in an entry if you want. Let's make another one. All right. We talked about this one. We talked about Mobley for the block shots. Well, did they pull them? Did somebody get ruled out for Cleveland? Or am I just tripping? Like, why are there no Cavaliers up on the board? Why did they pull Mobley? If anybody can answer that. Let's go over to RotoWire. Let's look at the news here. Doesn't look like he's ruled out, according to this. Blocks 4 shots in the win. I don't have any news for Evan Mobley. Any reason why Cleveland was pulled that you guys know of? I don't see anything as far as news goes. What were the other ones we talked about? We talked about Clint Capella's rebounds at 10. Let's take that one. Let's do that for Desmond. Rebounds at 10. We're going to take the over. He's continuing to crush against Vooch and the Bulls. Yeah, no news. That's kind of weird, right? Why'd they pull the Cavaliers? Cleveland, no. Nothing coming up for the Cavies. Interesting. Well, they snatched the entire Cavaliers roster from the board. Maybe there's something, maybe they got some insider information. Maybe there's something brewing that we don't know about. Kiara, what was your comment? I mean, there's a lot of comments coming through here. You're wanting to take Kevin Durant, PRA, which way? Over, under, sideways? 360. Unique Carter, shout out to you. Yeah, do we trust KD and the Suns tonight? I mean, with the spread being 19 points. And if you do trust him, do you trust him for a full game prop? 236 is the total 19-point spread. If you're going KD or anybody else from this game, for that matter, you might want to go first half only. I'd probably stay away from it. That's 19-point spread. A team's expected to win by almost 20 points. I'm going to have to stay away from that. Um, Donovan Mitchell's assists. What was the line on that? 4, 5, maybe? Sounds about right for Donovan Mitchell. Let me see. Donovan Spider Mitchell. Yeah, he's at 4, it looks like, on PrizePicks. The optimizer would suggest that we go under at 4. 52.6% chance that he does stay over. Just because they pulled him from the board, I mean, I could still look at him. Projected for 3.1 against the Magic. So if you could get him at 4, Donovan Mitchell, or 4.5, he's projected for about 4 to 4.8. So a couple of different projections there. Got another super chat coming through here. Last in Limbo. Appreciate you, my friend. What are you talking about? What do you got here? Help us build this this next 5 pick or 6 pick. We're gonna try and put in another 5 or 6 picks that look sweet. Can you check out Harden over rebounds? 5.5 is the line. Okay. Let's look at it. First and foremost, plug it into the optimizer, right? We want to make sure that we are in favor of this. In other words, the odds being in our favor. So you got Harden rebounds at 5.5. It is a plus EV play, 52.4% chance, in fact, that he goes for at least 6 rebounds tonight, facing off against the Boston Celtics. So first question is answered. Yes, this is a plus EV play. Odds are in our favor. So let's get a couple of projections here on the Beard. The Beard. He's projected for 5.9 boards. That's very close to 6. That's a good start. Good first projection on James Harden. Let's run it through another one here. 5.5 line, projection of nearly 7 boards according to RotoWire. So that is another favorable projection for Harden. Let's go one more here, because why not? We can, right? 6.2 projected rebounds on Harden. So 3 models have him right around 6 or better on his rebounds. So yeah, I'm gonna add Harden to this next pick that this next entry that we're putting together. Let's try to get 2 6 picks put together. So far we got Jaren Jackson Jr., Clint Capella, and James Harden all going for more on their turnovers, rebounds, and rebounds respectively. So there you go. TJ saying that there's not going to be any Walker Kessler or Lauri Markkanen tonight for Utah. Need an Anthony Davis taco. They may not be a bad move. But again, shout out to Last in Limbo for leaving that super chat. I think the James Harden rebound play looks like a very fine play. Everyday Fantasy saying, be careful. Cleveland has clinched a playoff spot, so beware. So Kiara, just circling back to what you had asked me about Kevin Durant, I would be more interested in probably playing a KD line if it was first half only. I don't think I would want to go full game on Kevin Durant tonight, not with a 19-point spread. That's just a little worrisome. So let's go to the first half category, first half section on PrizePicks, one of the few sites out there that offers first half only props. So shout out to them for making this possible for us to play just a first half in a blowout scenario. Kevin Durant's line, though, is at 19.5 for his first half PRA. So we got to bump him up. Let's bump him up, and let's just look at like the last... I guess we could look at the last 10. He started playing with Phoenix here, I think, on March 1st. So he's gone over this line in 3 out of his last 4. 3 out of his last 4. Against San Antonio tonight, I don't think he's going to face much resistance. Spurs, as far as where they rank, 30th in points allowed. No team's giving up more points than the Spurs are to opposing teams. 24th in rebounds allowed. No team's giving up more rebounds. Well, I'm sorry. There's only 6 teams giving up more rebounds than the Spurs are to opposing teams. And then 28th in assists allowed. Only 2 teams giving up more assists than the than the San Antonio Spurs. So, I mean, as far as matchup goes, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. So KD maybe over his first half PRA. If you wanted to go there, you could go there. Last time he played San Antonio, he was still with Brooklyn at this point. 24 first half PRA against the Spurs on January 2nd. So take that with a grain of salt. Totally different team, totally different cast of characters and players around him. But Kiara, just to play it safe, I would say maybe go first half PRA on KD. It's a little crazy with a 19-point spread. I'd probably stay away from full game props. What else do we have here, though, my friends? We got 3 picks. We're looking for more. We're looking for 3 more. I'm going to leave KD off. I just don't like mixing my first halves with my full games. Some weird OCD thing. You guys can put them in there, though, if you want. Do we have... let me go back. Do we have... Okay, I see the Cavaliers are back on the board. Mobley's back on the board. Where's he at? There's his block shots, right? We wanted to go over on Mobley's 1.5 blocks. There we go. There's a 4th pick. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 now. Cavs are back. In case any of you wanted to take Evan Mobley, you can. Everyday Fantasy saying that Colin Sexton is in tonight. He will be playing for Utah. Kiara, you could take first half fantasy score on KD or first half PRA, either one. Both looking pretty sweet. T-Bone says, let's check out Desmond Bane under rebounds and assists. Okay, let's do it. We know Memphis expected to be one of those teams that blows the opponent out of the water tonight. Desmond Bane is at 9 rebounds and assists. Is it the most optimal plus EV play on the board? No, it's not. In fact, at 9 rebounds and assists, you've got about a 50.6% chance that he records 9 or more. Now, you were wanting to go under on this, correct? There's a better chance that he goes over at 9. So it's kind of going against maybe what you initially thought you wanted to do with Bane. Let me get some projections rolled out here for you. Got him projected for 10.3 rebounds and assists on a line of 9. And then we've got him at, well, we don't have a projection for his rebounds and assists here. So projected over, but suggesting, according to the optimizer, the odds are suggesting you go under on his rebounds and assists. So I'm going to just stay away from that one, T-Bone. Don't like it. It's not stacking up. Ryan wants to know, honest question, it seems that the plus EV fines are maximum 54%. How are you turning these into 70% winners? How? Well, I don't take... well, here's what I do. It's real easy. Let me show you. So the odds for this prop to hit is 54.3%, right? Which in and of itself, mathematically speaking, is good. It means that, you've got about a 4.35% chance that things are shifted into your favor, right? But I apply a couple of little filters here. So I'll find a plus EV play, and you guys have seen me. I mean, everything that I'm doing in today's video is what I do, and then I post these to Patreon. I find a plus EV play. I check 1, 2, sometimes even 3 different models. And if they all check out, it's a full send out to the patrons, man. The people that are paying $20 a month for me to find picks like these that are plus EV and projecting well. That's it. It's really that easy. Sometimes I'll get into props.cash and I'll look into the game logs and see, what's the hit rate? What's the matchup looking like? What's the split situation? But that's very rare because this value dries up so quickly. So I don't just take whatever the optimizer's telling me to take. No, I take it a step further. I look for a plus EV play here, which saves you time. This thing right here is a time saver. The Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer is an absolute time saver. That's why I recommend you go and get it, especially if you're playing on PrizePicks. It does work for a variety of other sites too, but obviously we're talking PrizePicks today. But the biggest thing that I can say about this is that it saves you time and it allows you to get on the picks before they get bumped on PrizePicks. Those two things are invaluable. So once I find plus EV plays quickly and easily and efficiently using this optimizer, then I go and look at a couple of different projection models. And if they're projecting in accordance with the plus EV plays on the optimizer, that's it. It's not It's not really rocket science. I wish I had something that was a little bit more complex to tell you, because it would sound more impressive, but it's really that easy. And yeah, we cleared 65% hit rate on last month's picks, just doing that. So yeah, that's how it works. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I mean, I can't explain it any easier than that. I mean, you see what I'm doing here on the show, right? How we landed on those picks. That's all I do. So if you want to try out the optimizer, I've left a link, like I said, down in the description of today's video. You'll save $5 on your first month. I would try it for at least a month. I see some people trying it for like a week. That ain't enough time. You got to give it at least a month. I would say at least a month for it to really like prove its worth to you, or for you to really see results. I would say at least a month. A week is far too short. Some of you guys are just trying to get rich quick. You want to dip your toe in the water, right? You don't want to like dive in head first. Give it at least a month if you're going to try it. Again, link down in the description. You guys can get access to this tool. It's invaluable, truthfully. It's a game changer if you're playing on PrizePicks. So yeah, Desmond, you want to see the ticket from the first entry? Again, we're working on a second 6 pick. So far we got Triple J over turnovers at 1.5, Clint Capella over 10 rebounds, James Hart over 5.5, and Evan Mobley over 1.5. Our first entry was Embiid Taco, Jalen Williams less on his points, Alperen Şengün more on his rebounds. Nikola Vucevic PRA has been bumped to 31, but we took the over at 30.5. That's what I'm saying. The optimizer lets you get in on these picks before they get bumped. Nobody wants to play a bump. Well, now you can be in before the bump using the daily grind fantasy optimizer. Dante DiVincenzo less than 3.5. And then our man Broderick came through with the super chat, and we took the over on Jason Tatum's rebounds and assists at 14. There you go. Last in Limbo coming through with a super chat. He's liking D'Angelo Russell at 5 dimes. Let's go look at D'Lo. Again, this is all I do. This is all I do. Can't get any easier. We go and we check the first box. Is it a plus EV play? D'Angelo Russell over 5 assists? Yes, it is. 52.27%. I've found so many gems in the like 51 to 53% odds to hit range. In that 51 to 53%, I found so many gems in there. Just by pulling them up on the optimizer and then checking some projections out and then rolling with it. Maybe we've got one here. D'Angelo Russell's 5 assists, 52.2% chance to hit. Let's go pull some projections up. Projected for 6.5 dimes. Love that projection on a line of 5 on PrizePicks. And then we don't have a projection here on RotoWire. Let's refresh it. Maybe there we go. Now they've added them. 5 assists, projected for 6.4. So again, well over 1 assist different. And then just for fun, I'm going to run it through a third model. Not that you have to, but just to be thorough, 6.5 projected assists, okay? 3 models have him at 6 or more dimes on a line of 5. So of course I'm going to take that play. Why not? And again, you don't even have to use projections. You could just go straight plus EV if you want to. I like to just add that extra layer of research by checking 1, 2, 3 different projection models. All right. So we've got Jaren Jackson Jr. over 1.5 turnovers, Capella over 10 boards, Harden over 5.5, Evan Mobley over 1.5 blocks, and D'Angelo Russell over 5 assists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish we had another taco to just like put with this. But in this case, we don't. So let's find one more pick. Trey George says, what about DeMar DeRozan's rebounds and assists over? What about it? What about it? Let's go look. DeMar DeRozan, Mr. Chicago Bull, his rebounds and assists line sitting at 10. It's been bumped down apparently from 10.5. The optimizer giving this a 51.5% chance to go over. Okay. So we're thinking about going over here. That seems to be the most optimal way to play this. So let's pull some projections up. Projected for 10.6 on a line of 10. Not terrible. Wish there was a little bit of a bigger differential there. 10 with a projection of 10.7. Again, not terrible. Do wish that was more like 11.7. And then DeRozan, we got him projected for about 11 here. 4.9 rebounds with 5.1. No, I'm sorry, that's 10. 10 rebounds and assists, so exactly 10. So you could take this one. It is projected slightly more than 10, but I think I'm going to look for a better one. Let's get one more. David's liking Giannis first half fantasy score. Tricky, but you could go with that one. Maybe you go with like a 2-pick of Kevin Durant fantasy score first half only, and then maybe Giannis first half fantasy score. That could be like a nice little 2-pick first half only type of option for you. Both of those games expected to be blowouts. But yeah, I mean, Giannis here, 5 out of his last 5. I can see why you're liking this. It's pretty obvious here. Anytime you open up a PrizePicks card on a player and you see 5 out of 5, you get excited, right? Let's take a look here. Giannis Antetokounmpo, first half FanDuel points logs. I think I spelled that right. Boom. All right. So we need at least 28.6 out of him for a first half fantasy score. He's hit this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then you go back a little bit further, and that 5 out of 5 doesn't look so sweet because he's missed at 28.3, 26.2, 20.2. So then you go back a little bit further, 36.3, 28.4. So he's really like 6 of his last 10. So I understand you get excited when you see the 5 of your last 5, but you got to look a little bit, beyond the last 5. Beyond the last 5, just 6 for 10, 60%. Looks a whole lot worse than 100% in his last 5, right? Shaden Sharp points. No truth serum. We have not, but we can. Where's Shaden Sharp today? I was liking Shaden Sharp potentially for some assists. Let's see both though. Let's see what the top Shaden Sharp plays are. Shaden Sharp's assists at 4, 51.1% chance that he records 4 or more dimes tonight. You mentioned his points. Damn, his points are at 23.5. That's a lot, huh? Do we trust this guy? I don't know if I trust this guy. Shaden Sharp, 23.5 points. They're saying go under, giving it about a 50.5% chance for him to stay under at 23.5. Do we trust Shaden Sharp like that? I mean, I know Portland has no one, but projection for him against Memphis tonight, 25.9. That's a pretty sweet projection on a line of 23.5. And then we've got him at exactly 23.5 here. Last in Limbo says Jordan Poole under points, 19.5. Okay. Pat's fan coming through saying, hey, just letting you know that he's going to be taking D'Angelo Russell assists off of the entry because he is now questionable. Okay. Good to know. D'Angelo Russell apparently questionable. Appreciate you letting me know that. It has not come through on RotoWire just yet. I mean, it looks like he's probable according to what I'm seeing here, but there you go. Giannis fantasy got bumped. There you go. Hopefully you guys took it. All right. So you're saying D'Angelo Russell got bumped. D'Angelo Russell's off the board because he's now questionable. All right. So he's no longer even on the PrizePicks board. And then Giannis got bumped for first half fantasy score. All right. Lakers are off the board because of the news about Russell. Gotcha. Well, what else we got? We're looking for 2 more. 2 more. Who else we got here? We've already taken a lot of these. Josh Giddey over 17.5 points. 53.4% chance that he goes over 17.5 points. Let's go look at Giddey because that is definitely a plus EV play. Ooh, projected for 16.7. Well, that's not sweet. That's not good. Projected for 14.8. No. Forget you. We're not going with Giddey. Steph Curry under 12.5 rebounds and assists. 53.4% chance that he stays under. Let's look at some projections on Curry, shall we? 12.4, that puts him slightly under 12.5. Curry rebounds and assists, 12.5, projected for 12.9. No, all right, I'm going to leave that one alone. What else we got? I mean, this is all I do, what you guys are seeing here. Like I said, I wish there was something more complicated that sounded way cooler, but I just go through this optimizer and I look up some projections and I compare. How do the projections stack up with the way that the optimizer is telling me to play the prop? KBD, 13.5 points and assists, 53.2% chance for him to go over. So let's go find KBD. Projected for 14. That is more than 13.5. Love that. Love that. What else we got here? Nothing on RotoWire. Let's go over to Numberfire real quick. I'll play some Keita Bates Diop. Is that how you say his name? 12 points, 1.7 assists. That's 13.7. That's going to be slightly more than 13.5. I'm going to be picky. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to try and find something a little better. What else we got? Joe Val over 13.5 rebounds and assists. I don't know if we've looked at his rebounds and assist line. We did talk a little bit about Joe Val for points and rebounds, but ooh, there we go. 14.3 rebounds and assists on a line of 13.5. That's good. Good first look. Got another one here, 13.5, projection of 16.8. All right, I'm putting him in. That works for me. That works for me. Plus EV, projected very nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more. One more. Let's make it a 6 pick. You guys want another 6 pick, so let's make it another 6 pick. Who else we got here? Jabari Smith Jr. 7.5 rebounds. We've already taken Şengün for more than 8.5 rebounds. Jabari Smith Jr. at 7.5 boards. 53% chance to go under 7.5. So let's pull some projections up on him real quick. Jabari, ooh, dang, projected for 8.5 on a line of 7.5. I can't do that. Oh, that's right, Jordan Poole. You did mention Jordan Poole. My B. Let's go look at Jordan Poole. 50.8, 9%, 50.9%, 51%. Let's just round it up. 51% chance that he goes over at 19.5 points. Are you wanting to you're wanting to go under on this? Well, they're giving it a better chance for him to go over on his points and on his points and assists. His points and assists actually is the more plus EV play. But I'm going to just pull some projections up for Jordan Poole. Let's go Poole points, 19.7 projected points. Let's look at another model here. It's pretty close though. Line's 19.5. He's projected for 19.7. Here's a 17.5 projection. So you could go under, I guess. I think that there's so many better plays out there, potentially with a 13-game slate, with MLB out there. I mean, here's another projection of 18.5 on Poole. Just not solid enough for me. I'm going to leave it alone. Everyday Fantasy's mentioning one. How about Isaiah Joe's points and rebounds at 11.5? Let's pull up Joe. If we're liking the under on Jalen Williams, Jaylin, Jalen Williams, 6.5 points, makes some sense that Isaiah Joe potentially could go for more than 11.5 points and rebounds, right? So we got his points and rebounds line set at 11.5 on PrizePicks. According to the optimizer, 52.2% chance that he goes over. Let's run it through here. Joe, 13.1 projection going up against Golden State tonight. So that's good. On a line of 11.5, projected for 13.1. That's a good first projection. Let's pull up another one. Isaiah Joe, points and rebounds, 11.5, projected for 11.2. It's close. It's close. Let's go one more. Isaiah Joe, 8.7 points plus rebounds are set at 3.1. That's 11.8. So some pretty tight projections on Isaiah Joe, but yes, it is plus EV. It's projected decent, not great. I think we could probably do better. And I'm going to try and do better right now. Let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. What else we got? Going through the optimizer. Let's go to page 2. Maybe there's something else lingering in these 52 to 53% range. Talked about Joe Val already. That one's looking pretty sweet. Jabari Smith, no, not loving that. CJ McCollum under 5.5 assists. New Orleans, 53% chance he stays under 5.5 dimes. Let's look at that one real quick. 5.6, not great. Not if we're thinking about the under, that's not great. 6.9, definitely not great. Okay, well, that's a big fat fade. We can skip over him. What else we got? Giannis to make 1-3 tonight. I'm going to stay away from that. That just feels like a trap. That feels like a trap. Cam Johnson over 15.5 points. I cannot get Cam Johnson right to save my life. I cannot get him right to save my life. The days I play him, he does nothing. The days I don't, he looks like the second best player on the Brooklyn Nets. Anybody else experience this phenomenon with Cam Johnson? Just can't seem to kind of get him right. He's at 15.5 points. Let's go pull some crap up here on Cam Johnson. Okay, here's a projection of 16.6 points. 16.6. That's a good first projection. No projection here for him. Oh, there we go. Cameron. Projected for 13.2. Okay, I'm going to fade that one then. Fading that one. I cannot get Cam Johnson right. Britton says the same thing. He says every time. Yep. Every time I think, oh, it's Cam Johnson night. Nope. No, it's not. Let's see. We've got a couple more super chats coming through. We got Dave Gutierrez. He's got a 1, 2, 3 pack, and he's mentioning Cam Johnson in there. We just talked about Cam Johnson and how frustrating he can be. Mike Conley's assists, Karl Anthony Towns rebounds, and Cam Johnson. All right. Let's start with Conley real quick. I've not talked Mike Conley. His assists are sitting at 5. Optimizer suggesting this has about a 51.7% chance to go over. So yeah, it is slightly plus EV play, slightly. We're looking for assists projections for more than 5 on Conley. Here's one at 4.6, which is technically closer to 5 than it is 4. Wish that was a little bit stronger though, right? Let's go look at RotoWire. 5 assists projected at 5.7. That one's better. Let's get one more. One more on Conley. 7.2 assists according to NumberFire. Okay. All right. So 5 seems to be kind of realistic, but they've got him projected for as many as 7 dimes tonight, going up against Brooklyn. And what's the total on this game and the spread? Let me see. This isn't expected to be a blowout, runaway game, right? This one's supposed to stay competitive, right? Right. Yeah, 224.5 points. Total's kind of low. Total is kind of low. Spread is only 2, though. You could go there. I think I'm going to leave it alone, though. Dave says Cam has been money. All right. Let's look at the next one. Karl Anthony Towns rebounds. Again, we're waiting on Karl Anthony Towns news because as of right now, game time decision. Not sure if Cat plays or not. His rebounds are sitting at 8. Optimizer gives this about a 52.6% chance that he finds at least 8 boards or less. Okay? They're suggesting take the under on Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know which way you wanted to go, Dave, but the optimizer is saying take the under at 8 boards. Almost a 53% chance that he does not find 9 or more. Okay? Let's get some projections, though. But for right now, Towns is going to be a fade for me until we figure out if he's playing or not. Here's a projection of 8.1. Right in line with that number of 8 rebounds. Here's another projection of about 9.1. That's more than 8. So maybe that makes you feel good if you're thinking about taking the over but I'm seeing too many mixed signals here. Here's a projection of 8.9 on Karl Anthony Towns. Too many mixed signals. I don't like it. I need more things to be streamlined, more, you know, positively correlated projections, I guess you could say, with the optimizer and the odds on the books. And then your last one, I don't really have any projections for first half anything, but we can take a look at Cam Johnson. Minnesota versus Brooklyn. Cam's going to be playing at home tonight against the T-Wolves. His first half PRA line is what? Let's go find it. Killer Cam. He has killed many entries for me this season. Never seem to get this kid right, but he is at 11.5 first half PRA. Never seem to get him right. Tonight will probably be more of the same. I'll take the over on his 11.5, and he'll probably go for 11 or 10 or something, or even worse. Seems like when I play him, he is terrible. Like, not even close to hitting his props every time I play him. Anyway, Cam Johnson is 2 for 2 against Minnesota this season with 18 and 12 first half PRA. And I'm not trying to scare anybody off of playing Cam Johnson. I'm just telling you my own personal lived experience playing Cam Johnson props. When I play him, he turns into a damn zombie and does nothing out there. Nothing at all. I mean, he doesn't even come close to sniffing any of his props. That's just, I guess that's just my luck. I don't know. The last 10 games, Cam Johnson at 11.5 PRA in the first half, 50%, 5 of 10. And he's definitely got some close but no cigars in there. 11 against Denver, 11 against Cleveland, 10 against Orlando. I think I played him here on 316 against Sacramento when he had like 4 first half PRA. Yeah, he was pretty awful that game. Anyway, there you go. Cam Johnson, 4 out of his last 5, 5 out of his last 10. I'm not playing him, but he is 2 for 2 against Minnesota. All over. Okay, there you go. Those are your 3. Wait and see on Cat. I'm fading Cam. That's just me being jaded due to Cam's failing nature. And then Mike Conley's assists. I probably like that one a little bit more than Cam Johnson's first half PRA. Last in limos, mentioned Draymond Green's rebounds at 7.5. Guys, we got to get this together. I think these lines are probably going to move. We're still stuck at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe Draymond Green is our last play. Let's see. Draymond Green. We're not wanting to go first half. We're wanting to go full game on Draymond. Guys, again, smash the like button if you guys are watching still. If you're liking what we're doing here, we're trying to put you on some winning picks, winning plays each and every day right here on YouTube. You subscribing, turning on those notifications, and smashing the like button costs you nothing. It also enters you in to win a risk-free 2-pick power play on PrizePicks. You get that power play, 2 out of 2, you win $100. I'm giving away free money every time we go live here on YouTube. Draymond 7.5 rebounds. There we go. Let's see if this is the one, our final pick. Let's take a look at Dre. Draymond Green's rebounds. 7.5. You're wanting to go over. 51.7% chance of him getting at least 8 boards tonight. So first question is answered. Yes, it's plus EV. 1.7% edge in our favor. Next question. Is it projecting well? 7.2. Not great. That's less than 7.5. That's closer to 7 boards than it is 8 boards. Let's see if we can pull up something else that makes you feel a little bit better. 9.2 rebounds. That's better. That's an over at 7.5. And then we'll go one more projection here for Draymond. 8.1 rebounds on a line of 7.5. So 2 out of the 3 models like Dre to collect at least 8 boards tonight. So not terrible. Not terrible. Do we want to make him our final play though? That's the question. Going up against OKC. Oh, we could do it. We could definitely do it. I think I'm gonna do it because we've been on this show now for almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. It's either we could go there. Let's do it. I'm gonna only put $10 on this though. $10, and then I'll show you. I'll do a little quick recap of the 12 plays that we have so far. So this was the ticket I just submitted, the entry I just submitted. Jaren Jackson Jr. 1.5 turnovers. We took over. Clint Capella against Nikola Vucevic has hit in like 6 of his last 6 games. He's gone for 11 or more rebounds in like 6 straight games versus Vooch. Harden plus EV play, projecting well. Mobley plus EV play, projecting well. Joe Val, more than 13.5 rebounds and assists, projecting very well, and a plus EV play, of course. And then Draymond, 2 out of the 3 models liked him to go for more than 7.5 boards. The one that didn't have him going over had him at like 7.2, so that was close enough for me. And then we had Jalen Williams, less than 6.5 points. Şengün, more than 8.5 rebounds. Vucevic, that has been bumped now to 31 PRA, but we had him going for more than 30.5. DiVincenzo, less than 3.5 assists. And then Jason Tatum versus the 76ers, crushes 14 rebounds and assists every time he plays them, it seems like, for the last like 6 games. So those are 12 picks. 12 picks. Now you can mix these up. You can take just 2 of them. You can take all 6 and mix them around. You could put Jalen Williams up here instead of James Harden. You could take Draymond Green off, include Alperen Şengün over 8.5 rebounds. Do what you want. Get crazy, all right? Get weird, all right? It's Taco Tuesday. I'm going to go get weird now. Been here serving you folks, and it's time for me to get. Go check out my MLB video if you haven't yet. I think those lines are still pretty good. I don't think a lot has moved on those, but go check them out. There was 6 more picks in today's MLB video. You can mix some baseball with some basketball and have a little bit of basketball here on Taco Tuesday. Do what you want, guys. All right, we'll catch you in the next one tomorrow. Good luck on all your entries. See you in Patreon and Discord. Link down in the description if you want to join. Peace.